3 years ago, we covered this area of the garden in wood chips to do a no-till experiment. You no longer see wood chips here. Very few, I should say. There's just a few little remnants here of the wood chips. 3 years of experiment is now gone. But that allows us to start over. So there's a few things with the wood chip experiment that didn't go as planned, and part of it was on our management part. No, thank you. No, thank you. Could you, hey, you're blocking the, could you go that way? Thanks. When we first did the wood chip experiment, we put down compost, we put down a layer of cardboard, and then we put wood chips on top about 4 inches deep. Now, they weren't green wood chips, meaning there was no leaf matter in them. They weren't freshly fallen trees, so it was more as a garden mulch. But it worked really well for the first year, and you can go and see the different videos that I have done each year as we do an update and how things did. The problem really arose this year, which is how we had a bit of a miscommunication here on the homestead and in the garden, is the clover. You can see there's still quite a few clumps of here of the clover. Now, clover can be a great cover crop. Clover also helps to fix nitrogen back into the soil. It can be a nitrogen fixer. So clover has a lot of great things in the garden. However, clover can be, you can see I have a clump back there still and there. I was going to cut them off, leave the roots because those will break down and help feed the soil, especially in a no-till situation, and let their leaves break down as green matter and work their way into the soil and feed it. So I told my husband before I left, I was at the Homesteaders of America's conference teaching out of state, that I wanted to work the clover into this area of the garden. He thought I meant work it in with the tiller. So bless his heart, he got the whole garden prepped, everything prepped and ready to go while I was gone. And then when I came home, I realized he had misunderstood what I meant by the clover. So the clover is now worked into the soil, which is great, but so are the wood chips. So we're going to be starting back over, but one of the things is I had not done a very good job of adding new wood chips back onto the soil. So we were going on year 3, and really this clover should have been cut back much, much earlier before it had a chance to take over. I should have cut back the clover in the fall, knowing that it is a perennial and it would continue to grow and really come on strong this spring. There's only so many hours in a day, and I didn't get on top of it. So this gives us a chance to start this whole section over again, and this time I will be able to stay on top of it, and then also make sure that when we are using wood chips, that we're getting them where they have from freshly fallen trees or freshly chipped up, where all of the leaf matter, all the parts are there, not just the dead wood material. Another thing that worked out to my favor is we actually have a bunch of meat chickens that we're raising right now. And so this is the deep litter that we had in their coop or in their bedding area, the brooder area from when they were babies. So this is extremely rich in nitrogen because it has all of the chicken manure is here. And so this is great because it's got the green matter in there, and I will be able to use this and incorporate that into this section before we add more wood chips onto it. So the garden soil is fine. It's going to be usable. It just, however, is no longer no-till because it did get tilled up this year. To see how that was going in year 1 and 2, you can go and check out those videos and soil test reports here.